Hi, I'm Nan Ross, and this is a brief case study that walks through a problem, the approach, and the outcome. So there is a customer support team at a supply company that was spending a large amount of the day answering one question: where is my order? Now, these requests made up 40% of the inbound inquiries and often took up 30 minutes to resolve. So the issue wasn't so much about effort or the tools, it was repetitive work built within the process. So the goal wasn't just speed, but reducing that load without losing customer trust. So my task was to design an automation that reduced that repetitive workload while keeping the experience reliable and trustworthy for customers. So the goal wasn't to over automate. It was to start with something simple, prove value, and then evolved it based on real usage. So I started with a very focused version 1. Customers would submit an order ID or email through a chat interface. And then you see an example, it was through Telegram. The system will return the order status automatically with the help of OpenAI, and then they'll send the status back to the Telegram. So this immediately reduced manual effort and improved response time. But get this, after version 1 was launched, user behaviors told a different story. People didn't just enter their order ID or their email address. They asked full questions. That wasn't a problem. It was a cue. The system worked, but the interaction model didn't. And that insight drove the next version, which was version 2. Now, it didn't replace version 1 workflow, it extended it. Users can now write in plain language. The system can interpret the request and route it through the same reliable process. And then when confidence was low, the response went to a human, not a dead end. Then we also added a second human in the loop through a separate Slack channel. So that created a simple escalation path for higher risk or unclear cases. So the system became more flexible while the logic stayed consistent. And at this point, this stopped being about one automation. It started showing how iterative delivery works. So once the workflow proved reliable in real use, the focus shifted to scale. Not immediate expansion, but a scalability roadmap. That meant identifying limits, setting usage thresholds, and planning phased growth. The goal was to scale deliberately based on readiness and data, but not pressure. So this project shows how automation can evolve through real use, not assumption. It started with a small structure solution to reduce operational drag. User behavior, it became data. The system was extended without compromising reliability. The result is a workflow that balances efficiency, usability, and trust, and can be adapted to similar operational issues across the company. Now, that is how I approach building systems that work with people, not against them. Thank you.